Good evening, everyone. Welcome to round 2 of the ARL Formula 2 Championship, live from Road America in near Elkhart, I believe I was say in Wisconsin. My name's Squire, and welcome to round 2 around Road America, which coincidentally was actually my first proper commentary for a certain endurance league back in 2013. I believe it's 12 hours of Road America or 8 or 10 hours. I'm not too sure. But also, it is going to be one of my last this season. And we're just hoping for a good race here. And I'll be back in a bit. And I'm back. Apologies for that. Was crap got down for my dessert. The most opportune time to do so. Anyway, we're in the middle of qualifying here. We're on board with Carly Skirmanis here at Road America, round 2 of the ARL Formula 2 Championship. And I'm a little breath. Anyways, now on board with Connor Pelkmans. And let's go through the details of this course, by the way. So I believe it's 23 laps around this very picturesque circuit, has to be said. 14 turns, and there are 2 parts of the circuit that is absolutely high speed. I'd say that much. It's not the first back straight, because that would be ridiculous. The fastest part of the circuit is from turn 10 at the carousel all the way down to turn 12 at Canada Corner, which is the literal back end of the circuit. You go through the bend to King Kettle Bottoms and so on and so forth. Then from Canada Corner up to turn 14, just after the Bill Mitchell bend. And you see Connor Pelkman's going through, I believe, is turn 3. I believe someone just gone off there a little bit, but it's just testing waters. There's only about 12 minutes left in this session. No time has been properly set up yet. Pelkman's coming down the moraine sweep into turn 5. This is the tightest part of the circuit, going into turn 6. Now this corner can catch you out whether you are aware of it or not, because it's literally, you can't see the apex when you're going across circuits. So it's you just need to do well through that corner. Oh, and Pelkman just spun off after going through turn 8, just after hurry downs, and this just before the carousel. And that's Pelkman's lap ruined, absolutely. Oh, nearly taking someone out. Pelkman's, you need to be aware of that. Absolutely aware of that, I'll tell you that much. Okay, we are now going to have a look, I believe. I don't know, but anyway, Rob McIntyre has sorted out his lap, I believe. And, I'm going to have to have a look on here, perhaps. But I'm just having a look at the different streams, because I'm just having 2 different feeds. The main feed's a little bit grainy at the moment, so I do apologise if I do make things up as I go along. But so I can see the better quality on the actual stream at the moment. Oh no, that is, I believe. There's Luca McGeaney, thank you very much, the man who was doing the cams at the moment in time. Luca McGinney just went off at the last corner. That is absolutely disappointing for his time. So let's have a look at the people on the standings at the moment. Bencher, is it Betcher? Yeah, Betcher in pole position, followed by Sanford. Rob McIntyre is in third. Hello, Rob. Just now, Talia O, I don't know what O's last one is in fourth. Skirman in fifth. Mile in sixth. And Lelts in I don't know why you say Let's Lelts in seventh place at this moment in time. Those are the only ones who have done their lap time with just 8.5 minutes to go. Oh, we've got more people just setting in their lap times. We've got Kruger in 8th. Mengwin, which has been told early on, in 9th, and in 10th is Parks. McIntyre is, yeah, just keeping an eye on there as we look at Max Janssen going through the last corner, a little bit off going through that corner, turn 14, as he starts. Well, he's already on his lap. I'm looking at the stream and I'm looking at the feed. I don't know why I need to look at the feed. So Max Janssen going through that tough turn 5. Is this turn 5? Let me just double check. No, it's turn 6. I apologize. So turn 6, they're going through after hurry downs into the carousel underneath the bridge. But one of the fastest part of the circus, I should point out. I seem to be a little bit wide. That's nothing to worry about him at this moment in time. Only 10 men, of course, have done their lap times at this moment in time. Max Jensen going down towards the counter corner, which he breaks now. Yeah, there we go. Does he go a little bit wide? Yes, he does. Oh no, Max Jensen. That is bad. That is bad form. Absolutely bad form for Max Jensen. But Dory, he still has plenty of time in this session, and I say around 8 minutes to go. We're now on board with Luca Betcher, currently in third at this moment in time. I believe there's another one who's done their lap time is, let's have a look on here. Salford, I believe. And by the way, next one, by the way, I've been running to actually being caught. I was cooled down for my dessert. Okay, so yeah, that's probably why I was out of breath earlier. So back to the race in hand. Sanford's gone up to 4th. Betcher in 3rd. And yeah, just having a look right now. 12 people have still done their laps. Under 8 minutes to go. We're now having a look at Rob McIntyre, who I believe I've commentated with at Sebring a couple of weeks ago. With him and George Morgan. You probably know him. Who's moving on to Apex now, so all looking good there. I don't know if I said the right one. Anyways, so now we're going into the second corner with Rob McIntyre as he goes down the Moraine sweep between turns 3, 4, and 5. Coming up to turn 5, you can make a mistake here. McIntyre is absolutely flawless going through there, but will he be flawless through turn 6 here? An unseeable apex there. Just manages a little bit slow, but he just manages to get through that messy apex. Oh, wide, but he keeps it on there. That is okay for McIntyre. Going into turn 8 after hurry downs. Turn 9 into the carousel. Keeping it on the back step as he does. Nicely done, Ross. I said Rob McIntyre. Why did I? When it said his name was Ross McIntyre. Why did I say Rob McIntyre? I don't know why. Past the kink, going down into Kettle Bottoms. What a name for a corner, by the way. Into the calendar corner break. Does he go wide here? No, he doesn't, surprisingly enough. That's a good form from Rob McIntyre. Through Thunder Valley, into the Bill Mitchell Bend, up to turn 14. Remember, the turn 12 to 14 is one of the fastest parts of the circuit. And he's going into the pits. So, probably just pulling out there. Oh, goes a little bit fast into the pit lane, I'll tell you that much. Tanya Ogazia also going into the pits. I believe most people are going into the pits right now. Unfortunately, no, Vermin. There is no escape back to pits. I don't know. Don't tell me about the rules. Next, don't tell me about the rules. So, still 12 people who have still done their laps at the time, and Brandon Kruger is actually on pole. Brandon Kruger's actually on pole, just took over from Pelkman. He's by 400ths of a second. That is impressive from Kruger at this moment in time. Impressive from Kruger. We're now under 5 minutes left in this session. Going down the Moraine sweep. It's turn 5. Does Kruger. Flawless going through that corner, going into turn 6. Tight and non-visible as by the time. Little bit narrow through there, but it's okay. Go through turn 7. After that, like a champion just then. Through Hurry Downs. On board with him now. Through turn 8. Turn 9 through the carousel. I believe he might even improve on his time here. I have to say, going through carousel, touches the apex just nicely there. Through the bend and kink here. Kruger at both time, and he has improved by 9 thousandths of a second. Going into Canada corner. Maybe broken a little bit later there, but he just survives it on the exit. Through Thunder Valley and the Bill Mitchell bend into turn 14. A little bit wide there, perhaps, yeah, but he's still going on it. Can he improve on his pole time? Brandon Kruger. Oh, yes, he has by 200ths of a second. 0.022 seconds faster from Brandon Kruger. That is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. There we go. Now we're on board with Pelton. Can he claw back pole? Sorry, Pelton. Can he claw back pole position? He starts his lap now. Going down into turn 1. Find your breaking point there. Hits the apex. Goes a little bit wide. Oh, that's going to cost him some a couple of valuable attempts. Going into turn 3 and again. Pelkman's not having a good lap here this moment in time, but he does have a couple more chances, perhaps. At least one more chance after this. Goes down into turn 5. Hits the apex nicely. Oh, a little bit of a skid. And if Pelkman's, well, he might have to try his luck on the next lap, because that won't give him the pole. That won't give him the pole. I'm sure of that. Now have a look at Squire. Going down into turn 8. 9 through the carousel. Nicely done. Nicely done. And off goes Pelkman's. And I don't think he's going to do another lap. I don't think it's actually going to do another lap. So Kruger, at this moment in time, unless Betcher pulls something out of the bag, Kruger is on pole. Or could we see an absolute surprise from the rest of the top 6 to try and get that pole? We'll have to wait and see. Yes, we have to. Squareman going through the last corner there as he starts his final qualifying lap. Oh, touching the grass. That's not where you want to start that man. Going down into turn 1. Just like that. Nicely hitting that apex just nicely there. Going down into turn 2. Goes wide. Yes, he does. But not wide enough for him to lose some time. But I mean, may have lost some time, but only time will tell. Going down down the Moraine sweep. turn 5. And I don't think he's going to do another lap. Menjin's on the lap, I believe, but Talia Okazir. And just before the carousel. Tell you what, a little bit of Tokyo Drift won't do him the world good, I'll tell you that much. Southwood. Just come out turn 6. Touching the grass with turn 7. Down into turn 8. Through Hurry Downs. Coming into the carousel. He's second at the moment. Can he improve on his time? But the time is up. But Southwood has a chance to try and get himself onto pole. Kruger at this moment in time has that pole position. But looking at the time, Southwood, if I have a look at it, it's only 100th of a second behind. Can he improve on his time? He's improved on his time in the second sector by 100th point. 0.019 and he's 0.15. Can Southwood improve on here? Southwood, can he get the pole here? No, he doesn't. He had time. He had the time. Why did he pull in? Oh, dear me. That's an absolute shame from Southwood. He nearly had it on his grasp, but he decided to pull out. But Leltz, let's see what Leltz can do. He's in 9th. Will he pull something out of the bag here? Probably not. No, I presume not. He remains in 9th. And that's all the drivers doing their laps. Wait a minute. Yeah, Max Janssen is still on his lap. Or is he going to go into the pits here? Yes, he is. So, we're Betcher. What about Betcher? Can he pull something out of the bag here? No, I don't think he can yet. That's a bad lap time for Betcher. He still remains in 4th, but that was a bad time for Betcher. Okay, so this is what the lap times looks like. Kruger is on pole. Southwood in 2nd. Pelkman in 3rd. Betcher 4th. Sanford in 5th. Talia Okja, I believe that, if I'm saying that right, in 6th. McIntyre 7th. Janssen 8th. Leltz 9th. Mile 10th. Then it's Gabor, Parks, Menchin, and Skirman rounding out the rest of the field. We'll be right back here with the race in a few seconds' time, I believe. Yeah, I believe in a few seconds' time. All right, I'm back. And there we go here at Road America. Start Kruger. Going down into the first corner here. Do we have a little bit of carnage going into the first corner, perhaps? No, we don't, but Pelkman makes his good start up into 2nd. Southwood, a little bit bad off the start as well, but 3rd still remains in the top 3 at least. Southwood going a little bit wide, but Betcher trying to defend himself from Sanford. But trying to have a look at Southwood going down through the Moraine sweep. Nearly 4 wide going through that. But Brandon Kruger still leading ahead of Pelkmans. Past turn 7 down into Curry Downs. Into turn 8 to go. And now we have a little bit of a formation going on here. No one has crushed out, thank goodness for that. So the order as we go for the carousel, it's Kruger, Pelkmans, Fletcher, Southwood, I believe Sanford, Jansen, McIntyre, before Notes, Skimmon and Renton's actually a very bad start. But Parks and Rail managed to get into 11-12 where they were just now. So let's have a look at the official order going through there. So once again, official order. It's Kruger, Pelkman, Fletcher, Southwood, Sanford, Johnson, Talia Okazier. Oh, actually, Jansen's actually being passed by Talia Okazier. And Sanford's actually got past Southwood. Southwood's not having the best of starts right now. But yet time will tell. Going down in turn 5 here. And oh, goes wide is Talia Okazier. What's happened to him? Wow. But he still remains on the. He still remains in the contest. Thank goodness for that. Going in to turn 7 into Hurry Downs. And then turn 8. The second Talia spot on the circuit, I'll tell you that much. Going into the carousel. And King for now on board with Gretchen. He's actually lost his lead to Pelkmans, I should say. No, it's who was it? Kruger. That's the one. Kruger. Kruger's actually lost his lead to Pelkmans. Probably we'll just have a look at what's happening at the back. But can Kruger get his lead back from Pelkmans going into the last corner? To start a lap 3 out of 23. Only 20 laps. Got 20 laps to go. Kruger keeping an eye on what's happening in front of him. Not moving edgeways right now, but it's about the time. But we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe down here at turn 5 perhaps. Can maybe take on the inside perhaps? No, don't think Pelkman's going to give him the room if he tried going up to turn 6. Oh! Double lockup from Kruger. That's going to lose him a ton of time. Lose him a ton of time. That's not going to be good for him in the long run. Through the carousel up to the bend and kink. Now on board with Sanford. Just going past Fletcher for 3rd into the Canada corner. Break just nicely there. No one goes through wide through that. Southwood. Keep an eye on that. Ah, that's mentioned. He's off. What happened to him? Have a look at the bit. Meanwhile, Fletcher, he's actually just put that on the plate for Southwood. He's actually put that position on the plate for Southwood. He didn't have a chance to actually defend that. He thought that he was actually going to try and go on the inside, but Southwood actually just saw an opening. And Southwood is now up into 4th position. Unbelievable for that. Pelkman's now leading. Unbelievable stuff in the men's moment in time. And now Pelkman's actually starting to build up quite a bit of a lead ahead of Kruger. I believe it's under around 18 or so laps to go, but one, I'm not too sure. Now have a look at Ogan Niall in 12th, who seems to be having a little bit of a quiet race, only behind Parks by 3 seconds. And Menjin has retired, I believe. He's actually into the pits. I don't know if he's actually going to come back out again, or is he actually retired from the race. We'll have to wait and see on that. We'll have to look now at McIntyre and now Janssen in 9th behind Leltz. And now into lap 6 out of 23, I believe. No, lap 5 out of 23. It was lap 26. Was as number time. Janssen behind Leltz, only a couple of tenths behind. Now have a look at Southwood. Seems to be a little. He seems to be coming up behind Sanford at the time. Only a couple of tenths. Could make an opportunity, I say, perhaps the carousel if he doesn't screw up in these next couple of corners. Oh, and that is easy on the plate. Easy on the plate for Southwood. Just past Sanford at turn 6. Remember, turn 6 is one of those corners that you don't know where the apex is, you don't know where the breaking point is. And Sanford just suffered because of that. Southwood now up into 3rd. After a bad start, he now seems to be calling himself back in the field, but it's too little, too late for him. Now on board with Gabor Borivoy behind Mex Janssen. Through the bend and kink here. And up to the Canada corner. And both Pelkmans and Kruger have got the fast lap of the race, but Kruger is the last one to get the fast lap of the race at 1 minute 46.846. And we may have a look here at Leltz, and he just passes him in V's, I believe. Tally-ho into turn 1 on the outside. Nicely done. Unless I'm very much mistaken. I believe I was just mentioned. I was a lap down. Anyways, Southwood now behind Sanford. Again, I believe Sanford managed to pass him somewhere or some form within the last lap. We'll have to see what happened then. But Sanford now back into 3rd. Southwood trying to find another opportunity to get past Sanford, as both Pelkmans and Kruger managed to speed away from the rest of the field. Well, on lap 6 out of 23, Parks manages to pass Gabor for 10th. Could it be in the next few corners, including the main straight for Southwood? Keep an eye on here. Sanford keeping behind through the Bill Mitchell bend and into turn 14. Anyone can make a mistake through turn 14 at least. Sanford goes a little bit wide off the grass there, but keeps a good margin of speed ahead of Southwood through the main straight, and Sanford's actually got the fastest lap of the race. Well, personal best anyways. McIntyre personal best, Jansen personal best, Lelt's personal best. They're all personal bests, but not the fastest lap of the race. That still belongs to Kruger as well at the time. We are on lap 7 out of 23. Southwood might have a chance here at turn 5, perhaps. No. Maybe at turn 6. Maybe he'll try and make a pass here, as they have done a couple laps ago. No. We're on board with Southwood. A little bit wide there, but keeps an eye on Sanford at least. Oh, bad way. That is not good from Southwood. Just spins after hurry downs, and Southwood suffers, and he's now down into 7th. What seemed to be a promising climb up the field has turned into a suffering drop for Southwood. And oh, off he goes again. And yeah, oh Christ, that's his race over. That is absolutely his race over. I believe he's taking out his teammates, I believe. Max Jansen. That is unbelievable. Utterly unbelievable. Southwood, not only did he just spin himself out for a potential 3rd place, but I believe he's just taken out his teammate in Max Jansen. Those two are going to have words after the race, I'll tell you that much. Absolute words. And he has got suspension damage, and he will go into the pit, I believe, to retire. I believe that's the first time into the race. Mengen is still in the race, who I thought retired earlier, but didn't. That is a bad shift from both Max Jensen and from Southwood. So now there are going to be 12 cars left in this race, I believe. We're now on lap 8 out of 23. Pelkman still leading ahead of Kruger, ahead of Sanford. Betcher makes his way up to 4th. 5th is Ross McIntyre ahead of Talia Oxia. Lelt's behind him in 7th. 8th is Parks. 9th is Mile. 10th is Skirman ahead of... would now be a trivial 12th place for Gabor, but I believe he's now in the pits, unless Southwood is actually back in the race. Yeah, both Southwood and Jansen are back in the race, who I thought retired because of suspension damage, but I believe both Southwood and Jansen are actually going to continue on in the race. Unbelievable. Unbelievable endurance from these guys. Pelgrin is still leading ahead of Kruger by a couple of seconds now, I believe. This race is going to be in the hands of Pelkman, unless something miraculous happens in the next, I believe, 14 or so laps. Because we are now on lap 9 out of 23. Have a look at Betcher under attack from Ross McIntyre through turn 5, perhaps. Ross McIntyre trying to look for an opportunity here through turn 6. They managed to get through it, knowing what was going to happen next. McIntyre goes a little bit wide, but still on the track, just about. brakes too late there for turn 8 after hurry downs. Into the carousel. Closed up a bit on Betcher. This for 4th place. Through the carousel, through the bend, and kink now. I believe you could have a chance at turn 12 at Canada Corner, or maybe just before that through Kettle Bottoms. And oh no! Ross! Ross! No! Oh dear! I believe that's his race for 4th over for the time being, unless he can actually pull himself back up. I believe he will try and get back up to it, but right now he's under pressure from Talia Uxia, which I believe will take 5th from him here. And he will do, you know. Through the main straight on the outside. And just does so. Talia Uxia, who I believe started 8th or 9th when the race started, is now up into 4th place. Unbelievable endurance from this guy. Ross McIntyre back down into 5th. Pretty much more or less where he started, but he was so close to actually getting into 3rd, I believe. I believe Kruger's actually gone into the pits. Kruger's actually gone into the pits. He's now come up in 6th. Mile in 7th. Parks in 8th. Leltz in 9th. Mex Jensen in 10th. And Ross McIntyre goes wide at turn 6. Dear me. Here is David Leltz coming out of the pits in 10th place. Through turn 1 he goes. Through turn 2 and turn 3. And the looks like the race is seen to be quieting down now. Reasonable space between each other. As Pelkmans now leads the race by, I believe, 6 seconds. 6+ seconds ahead of Sanford, unless I'm reading that wrong, because it is a bit blurry at the moment in time. But it does look like a 6 to me. Or 5 to me. Yeah, definitely. Between the 5 and the 6 is Pelkmans ahead of Sanford. And Sanford's actually leading. Sanford's leading because Pelkmans is actually just pitted. And Betcher's also in the pits as well. Talia Uxia will actually take a trivial 2nd place. But he will have to pit himself soon. We're on lap 11 out of 23. 12 laps to go. Toby Sanford leading, but he will have to make a stop in the next few laps. He's doing his own race quite well, Sanford. But we'll have to wait and see what awaits for him when he comes out of his stop sooner rather than later. Through hurry downs into turn 8. Does he go wide here? Not necessarily. Going through the carousel. Nicely done. A little bit wide, but that's okay. He's still carrying the speed. He's still going through the carousel nicely there. Through the bend and kink. Coming up to Kettle Bottoms. And into the Canada Corner. Does he go wide here? Again, not necessarily. Through the Thunder Valley and the Bill Mitchell bend. Slows down a bit for turn 14. Does he go into the pits this lap? No, he doesn't. He's still carrying on a bit. We're now into lap 12, and Ross McIntyre is off again after turn 6. Now, blind turn 6 for Ross McIntyre. Dear me. He's not having a smooth race at all, Ross McIntyre. But it is smoother than other people involved. We're now saying Talia Uxia now going into the pits from 2nd place. Kruger now going to take 3rd. 2nd will be in Pelkman's hands. Sanford will come into the pits sooner rather than later. Kruger has actually made the fastest lap of the race. And we're now having a look at Shane Parks. He's going to come into the pits himself. His teammate Kruger doing well. Parks himself having a quiet race, quieter than most. And I believe Sanford will be coming into the pits this lap, I believe. We'll have to wait and see. Because nevertheless, that position for him is a little bit trivial unless he can actually hold out for a couple more laps, which would be absolutely brilliant endurance in these cars, I'll tell you that much. Going through the kettle bottoms for Pelkman and Kruger into Canada corner. Nice speed through there. Fun Valley and the Bill Mitchell corner, and Sanford, I believe. No, I don't think he's in the pits. I don't think he's in the pits. I believe it was just a slow lap for him. So, now have a look at Gabor. And, oh no! Off goes Skirmanis just before turn 5. That is not how he wants to go with that. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable from Skirmanis. On mile. And oh, that is not how you want to enter the pit lane. Here comes Brandon Kruger going through turn 7, through Hurry Downs into turn 8. And as they go for the carousel, I believe 30 seconds ahead, I believe around turn 13 or 14, Sanford might want to come into the pits perhaps. We're now on lap 13 out of 23. 10 laps to go, so I believe he will come into the pits sooner rather than later. Mile is in the pits. Let's wait and see if Sanford is also coming in. I don't believe so. No. But Sanford's really having an incredible endurance this moment in time. But he is losing time ahead of Pelkmans and Kruger, who are still just putting in fastest after fastest lap between these two. Lap 14 out of 23, 9 laps to go. Only time will tell what happens next. Still having a look at Kruger through turn 3, through turn 6 now. Going into turn 5, turn 8, into the carousel. Retired from the race just now. So yeah, there's 12 people left in this race, I believe. Who was retired from the race? It's Menjin and Gabor. Menjin and Gabor is out of the race. That's really sad for those guys. And now we've got another. No, I don't think we have. So now we're on lap 15 out of 23. Sanford's still in that top spot as well at the time. Let's wait and see what happens to him next. Tell you what, Sanford's got real endurance at the time, but I believe sooner or later he's actually going to come into the pits, and he does so. Sanford's in the pits, and Pelkmans will take back the lead. Here comes Pelkmans, and here comes Kruger. Sanford, unless he can actually speed out. No. Sanford's actually done a brilliant job in first place, but it's now time for the leaders to go back in front. We're on lap 16 out of 23. There are now 7 laps in this race. Betcher is in front of Sanford as Sanford comes out in 4th place. Pretty much more or less where he started with. Hopefully he'll try and get back up the ranks as much as he can. Through turn 8 into the carousel, there's Pelkmans. But Kruger might have a chance here at the lead in the last few laps, perhaps. "12 cars left in this race, so the 14 that started. We thought that a few guys would have been out of the race, including the likes of Southwood and Jensen, who collided with each other many laps ago, but still persevering. Janssen now moving up into 5th place in Southwood, who was challenging for 3rd at one time, down in 9th. But they're still going. I even thought Benjamin was going to be out of the race after his calamities, but he's still persevering. Mail is in the back, but had a quiet race in prospect of many others. We're now looking at Mangini. Behind Skimani, I believe. Skimanis. This is a battle for 10th place. We're now on lap 17 out of 23. Cemal just keeping an eye on what's going to happen next. moves a little bit wide as Mangini into turn 5 and up into turn 6 now. And I believe the gap between Pelkmans and Krug has actually increased some way, so I don't think Pelkmans is going to lose that lead. I believe he's on course to win that race. We now have a look at Betcher, who's actually been overtaken by Sanford a couple of laps ago. Within the last few laps, anyways. But can Betcher get back onto the podium? I don't know about you, but I bet you will. I know that's a forced joke, but we'll move on. So, Betcher is behind Sanford, only by a few tenths or so, going into turn 5. Neither man going wide into turn 6. You go wide if you like here or not. And they both don't go wide. That's brilliant stuff from both of them. Into turn 8 before carousel. Much giving way between both men here. Still. And going a little bit wide there for Sanford, but keep an eye on that. We'll have a look at Mangini versus Skirmanis again through the carousel on lap 19 out of 23. We're literally touching distance within the flag. Here comes, oh, Mangini, off he goes. And let's see if there's a broken suspension. No, it isn't. Doesn't look like it. And now we're on board with Skirmanis, who now looks like he's still in the top 10 spot and will hold it all the way to the finish line, I believe, unless Mangini can pull something out of the bag or Skirmanis makes a mistake in the last 4 or so laps. Now have a look at Connor Pelkmans. Again, like I said, literal touching distance within the flag, and it would have been a well-earned victory for him. A well-earned victory indeed. As Pelkmans starts his 20th lap out of 23. It's going to be plain sailing for him from now because he's only 7 seconds ahead of Kruger. Just saw him going across the line as he goes into turn 1. And Sanford holding off against Betcher as much as he can. Janssen in 5th. Talia Auxier in 6th, 7th is McIntyre, 8th is Southwood, despite his drama earlier. 9th is Parks, ahead of Skirmanis in 10th. 11th is Mangini, and 12th is Mile, who got himself a personal best just now. Here's Kruger coming up to the carousel. Going now to the last corner for Kruger. Only a couple of laps to go. Look at Betcher, and I don't think he's actually going to catch up to Sanford. I just don't think he's actually going to catch up to Sanford. He's a little bit too far for him. I mean, he is there. He's literally touch distance of third, but Sanford, I believe, might have earned this third place. But he's got back markers in front of him, so who knows what's going to happen next. But he lets Sanford through. I believe that was Parks in 9th. As Sanford keeps on rolling ahead into turn 5. Test part of the circuit, of course. Nicely done through there. Does he hit the apex here, Sanford? Yes, he does. Sanford keeping on the track as much as he can. Doesn't need to push out all the way. He just needs to concentrate now and try and get this car home. Betcher, it's now or nothing if he wants to get to third. So we're now on to the 22nd lap, the penultimate lap of this race here at Road America in Wisconsin. Pelkman still leading ahead of Kruger, Sanford, Betcher, Jansen, Talia Oxia, McIntyre, Southwood, Parks, Skermanis, Mengini, and Mile. Both Gabor and I don't know who the other one is out of the race. We started with 14, we're down on to 12. Still reasonable, good amount of people left in this race. We're now having a look at Ross McIntyre. Behind Talia Oxia, through the carousel and into the bend and kink. Down towards Canada corner here. And McIntyre might actually get 6 here in the next couple of laps if he actually composes himself a bit. And yeah, I believe it was a back mark. I do apologise. So McIntyre actually holding on to 7th just there. I believe it was Southwood has actually got off in front of him in 8th. But we're now on the last lap. And Pelkmans is nearly there. A little bit of an up and down race for him to start off with, but Pelkmans has composed himself from at least the 2nd lap and kept the gas on in front of Kruger. Pelkman's just going through turn 5, the most difficult part of the circuit, going through turn 6. Nicely done. Through turn 7, down the hurry downs. In turn 8. Nicely done. Through the carousel. Begins one of the fastest parts of the circuit. Through 9 and 10. He goes into the bend and kink. Goes up nicely through kettle bottoms. into Canada corner. Only a few bends left. Through Canada corner does nicely. Pokemon through Thunder Valley and the Bill Mitchell bend. Coming up to the last corner. And your winner of round 2 here in the ARL Formula 2 Championship is Colin Pokemans here at Road America. Absolutely fantastic. Colin Pokemans wins here at Road America. Brandon Kruger comes home in second. Toby Sanford in third. Luca Breccia in fourth. Max Jansen in fifth. Tony Uxia in sixth. Ross McIntyre in seventh. Dave Southwood in eighth. Despite a bad performance, he's still trying to compose himself as much as he can, but Southwood in eighth. Scott Parks in ninth. Skirmanis in 10th. Luca Mangini in 11th. And Mayo rounds out the rest of the field. But what a race has it been, I tell you that much. And I believe, I think we're done, or we're going into another race. I'm not too sure. I've been told this is the race. So there we go. The podium is Colin Pokemans, Brandon Kruger, and Toby Sanford. And I will see you at the next race for round 3. I'm trying to figure out what is round 3 of this championship. We'll have to have a look in a bit. Well, I don't know, but we'll see you at round 3 perhaps, as they do donuts at turn 5. Oh, a little bit of a collision between Pokemans and Kruger. But yeah, that is it for now. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've been Ron Squire, and this has been the ARL Formula 2 Championship from Road America. And I say on to you, goodbye.